For me, it's a mental thing, sort of like a meditation.
It must have been my pussy.
Super painful still.
It's quite rough and it's not fun. It's quite spicy and hot.
What is your most painful tattoo and why? This is a question I got asked a lot, and probably not only me, probably every heavy tattooed person out there in this world get asked these questions a lot, because yes, tattoos are painful, yes, tattoos are hurt, but what is the most painful place to get tattooed? This is a question very tattooed people can answer better, because they have probably more likely places tattooed which most people don't. Maybe like me, I have things tattooed on my body you don't want to think about. To answer this question, not only from my side out, we have a lot of other interviewers, freaks and heavy tattooed people in this big tattoo series of question and answers. And let them answer them.
I think every tattoo is painful, but my most painful spot is on my palm. Yeah, especially on the kind of finger here on the palm. It's quite rough and it's not fun. It's quite spicy and hot, but yeah, it's a part of the game, and I'm gonna have to say it became one of my most painful spots.
I think the most painful tattoo I had was the palm hands, but it was very fast. It was like 30 minutes each one, but each line was very painful. It was like dying, and I don't know. And also here, this part of the fingers, I think was very painful too. But I don't know, pain is very different for every person. So I met some people that have palm hands. They say they didn't feel so much pain. So don't know.
I kind of hate when people ask about the pain of tattoos. For me, it's a mental thing, sort of like a meditation, not obsessing over the pain. And I think if you're that scared of the pain, then just don't do it. But probably the most painful, which I don't tell most people that ask me on the street, would be my asshole. But maybe a close second would be the bottoms of my feet, because I'm really ticklish. So kind of fighting the ticklishness during it was definitely a factor. And with my asshole, it kind of felt like the machine was going to go all the way in. So a little bit of fear around that more than obsessing over the pain, I guess.
I think the most painful tattoo was probably... it must have been my pussy. Yes. Definitely. Because that was... I think the reason why it was the most painful was because during the session we also had this brilliant idea, because you cannot just do the pussy tattoo like a normal person would do. Lily got this amazing idea where she was like, okay, let's put some hooks in and suspend, and so the whole situation ended in I had hooks on my belly and then some shibari ropes on my knees, and we suspended me while my pussy was also getting tattooed. And I think my head was in total meltdown, both in a good way and a bad way. It was because it was such an intense pain, but it was also a very changing pain. It was from going insane in the pussy, and then you cramp with your body, and then when relaxing you went in more to the pain of the hooks, and then that pain kind of took over. So it was a very intense situation, both in a very mentally pain ways, but also in the way of being able to relax in it, in the suspension pain. So it was a very intense. Yes.
Hey Squirrels, when you like my art, philosophy, my idea of life, I wrote a book as well, which I speak about all of this. Plenty of art books like this too, and much more. On top, I have many of my arts printed on high quality paper. I have it on canvases, so there's endless of stuff what I ever created on our web shop. Beside of this, I created plenty of nice clothings. I designed my own bags, hoodies, zippers, jackets, girly lines, and so much more. All of this you find on our website, site25.com. Feel free to have a visit, and see you. On my top number 3 spots of the most painful things on my body is definitive the inside of my ear, the inside of my mouth, and inside of my hands.
I think like the most brutal tattoo I have is the one on my thigh, mainly because it was 2 days in a row. So the second day I was very, very sore already, and I was not good at eating. I was not good at treating myself and my body and mind. Well, we were sitting at this convention, and then the tattoo artist was also, quite brutal in the way he was creating this very big black piece. So I think he wanted to create a show on this convention that we were at. So I all of a sudden ended up being a part of brutal tattooing in the middle of this without consent, and that was absolutely fucking terrible. Ended up laying for 4 hours, just 8 hours that day, but the last 4 hours I just laid and cried silently under my blanket over my head. Yeah, that was rough.
The most painful was actually getting the front done in 3 sessions in a row here in Thailand. Super painful, still unbelievable what your mind is capable of when you're in this kind of altered state of mind through the pain and tattooing actually.
So my most painful tattoo is whatever tattoo I'm having done at the time. To be honest, every time I get tattooed, in the first few minutes I think, what on earth am I doing? How on earth have I got to the level of coverage that I've got to? I'm never going to get through this. And then somehow I managed to get through it. I suppose the sessions that stand out, the last tattoo I had was I had my full head blasted over with some traditional Thai sakyan. The guy did it with the long stick, and that was quite grueling, to be honest. Over in Thailand, if you're heavily tattooed, you get a lot of props and a lot of respect just from your average Thai person. And I've always liked this, but always wondered why are they so into it. And then halfway through the last session of getting my head done, it was so agonising. I thought, okay, that's why they respect the tattooing so much. The long stick tattooing is no joke. Other than that, my ear holes, when Zed got right in there and tattooed my eardrum, that was quite emotional. My fingers were so painful, I still have 3 left to go. To be honest, they all hurt, really. The ribs, the stomach, the genitals, the arse, the backs of the legs were so much worse than I expected. Yeah, all the tattooing hurts. Anybody that says the tattooing doesn't hurt is on an ego trip.
Most painful tattoos. So I would have said it was like, but in recent months I've had my shoulder done near the collarbone at the base of the neck. That was pretty raw. And when you're starting to go under the underarm, that's pretty raw too. But yeah, I think that pain and tattoos is very much down to the person. Some people will have their neck done and be like, yeah, that was fine, and then have their thigh done and it be unbearable. I think it's very much a personal experience, but for me, I hate my back. Well, I hate my spine and my neck. And yeah, anything that comes near my neck is my worst fear.
My most painful tattoo is all tattoos I have around my ass. My leg near my ass, my butt near my ass, everything around my ass and my butt was really painful. I think it was the hardest one to do.
I've had quite a few painful tattoos, but I got these in Swastika Freak Shop back in the day. And I remember I had a white t-shirt, and after the session, it was completely transparent because it hurt like hell. My body was just sweating the whole session. And the only time in taking tattoos that I felt like I'm gonna pass out, but I didn't, but it was intense.
So thank you, my little interviewers, for answering all of this question. Share us your painful moments of tattooing. And for all of you who are interested in seeing more series like this, there come a few more, and we were thinking about making maybe a 2nd season. So in case you are a heavy tattooed person and you want to be part of it, just contact us. And when you just want to see more of this, leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe, obviously, and see you the next time. Peace out.